Welcome to City Hall. I'm delighted that we're able to welcome this Commonwealth study group to London. You've picked a beautiful day, haven't you? We've laid on the weather for you. You've picked the most spectacular place to come and have breakfast. But have we laid on any refreshments for you at all? No expense spared here in City Hall, and you're in the right place. You're in the right place to study smart cities, because in a very hotly contested field at the moment, I think London is one of the smartest cities on earth, and getting smarter the whole time. And we have to get smarter, my friends. We have to get smarter simply because of the pressures on London. Last year, London attracted, I don't want to sound, I think I'm entitled to be a little bit boastful this morning, since I am the mayor. Last year, London, I think, had 18.6 million international visitors. And so many of you are joining a huge and growing number of people who want to come to our city. We've knocked New York and Paris off the #1 spot. Our population is growing the whole time as a result of two factors. First of all, we've had more live births than ever before. I mean, babies. I think we had last year 136,000 babies born in London, which was more than at any time since England won the World Cup in 1966. And the second problem, of course, is that not at the other end of the spectrum, people are living longer. The average man and woman under this mayoralty has seen his and her life expectancy increase by about 18 months. My friends, so you live longer under the Conservatives, which I think is a slogan that we should be using. And take those two things together, you have a huge population boom by our standards. London has now exceeded 8.6 million for the first time since 1939. We are going to go up to 9 million, 10 million, probably 11 million people by 2050. How are we going to cope with that demographic pressure? We've got to get smarter and smarter. So we've got to invest in mass transit systems, in better public transport. And one of the great joys of my job, I was talking to Aditya earlier about this, is going around the world and seeing how other cities meet this challenge. And I think I was in Singapore. Anybody here from Singapore? Oh, right. Well, I'm delighted. I was very impressed by your MTR, your very, very cunning system of driverless trains. A very useful addition to the transport network, which we have failed so far to bring into London, but we should do. But we're going ahead with Crossrail, the biggest engineering project in Europe. The tube is now just over the last 7 years, to pick a period entirely at random. The delays on the tube have gone down by about 40%. The Jubilee line is running about 3 miles an hour faster than it was when I was elected. And we're seeing massive investment in public transport. But we've got to run to keep up, because we've got more people on the tube, we've got more people on the buses, and I don't know whether you saw, and Her Royal Highness was detained this morning in the traffic, for which I apologise. Where I can't. There you are. You're right. I apologise to you as Chairman of Transport for London. All delays on the roads are entirely my fault, and I apologise to you. We have to keep investing. We have to keep making sure that we make London more attractive to live in, the air more breathable. And we are, and we're trying to ensure that our homes emit less CO2. And we've, I think, retrofitted 113,000 homes in London. And actually, since I've been mayor, CO2 has come down by about 14%. CO2, in spite of the massive economic recovery that you'll hear so much about in the current election campaign. And that is a phenomenal achievement, and it is because of smart technology. It's because we are putting in all sorts of lagging. I mean, while London may be lagging in some things, but one thing we're not going to be lagging in is lagging. My friends, we are lagging our city. We're saving people money. We're reducing CO2, and I'm very, very confident about the future. I'm a technological optimist. I genuinely think that we have the chance to meet the challenges of growth. People are very nervous and apprehensive about growth, and population growth in particular. but we can sort it out. We can build homes on brownfield sites. 400,000 homes can be built just on the 33 brownfield opportunity areas in London. We can continue to improve the quality of life by harnessing technology. And this is the home, the European home at least, of tech. I mean, here in this area, just over the river in Shoreditch and all around there, you've got the most extraordinary inflorescence now of the tech sector: fintech, biotech, medtech, edtech, green tech, nanotech, aztech, tech of all kinds. And it's actually fantastic for the economy. Employs about 528,000 people now. Amazing success where I claim credit for it, of course. The truth was it rather exploded without us really having to do much actively to promote it, at least in the initial stages. And I think it's that tech that is going to enable us to make our cities ever smarter, cleaner, and greener. I just, but before I hand over to David Gann, who's the leads for Smart London for us, I just remind everybody, again reverting to my slightly tub-thumping mayoral role, I remind you that this is the home of innovation, my friends. I mean, this is the place where so many of those great breakthroughs took place that enabled people to live a smarter, cleaner, healthier, better life. Where was the first electric motor ever turned on? London. 1821. Michael Faraday. Where was the first, let me think, not the first bicycle, that was actually German. Never mind. But the first metal spokes on a bicycle wheel, Dennis Johnson, Covent Garden in I think the 18th century. Where was the first underground train? Yes, London. We had the idea, didn't we, first of putting a train in a tunnel. That was because a chap was stuck in a traffic jam, like Her Royal Highness in Holborn, and he said, trains in drains, that's what we need. And they did it. London, and we should go further. And by the way, Imperial College, which David represents, is coming up now with ideas for semi-evacuated maglev tubes, which would allow us to send people from London to Manchester. If we could just get the funding and just get the political will to do this, we could send people from London, never mind HS2, we could send people from London to Manchester in 18 minutes. Not 18 minutes. Not that you necessarily want to get to Manchester in 18 minutes, but there you go. There is incredible technology. Where was the first traffic light? Where was the first traffic light? Anybody know?
London.
It was London. You've been paying attention to this speech. Thank you very much. It was London. It was Parliament Square, 1860, and of course it blew up, injuring the policeman who was meant to be looking after it. But since then we have continued to develop traffic light technology. We now have the wonderful split cycle offset optimization technique, which I'm sure you'll know about, Scoot. Wonderful traffic lights we have across London now that have and together with split cycle offset optimization technique, we have been able, and various other things, we have seen a massive increase in cycling, about 150% increase in cycling just in the last 10 years or so, and it's going up the whole time. We have seen huge improvements in air quality. PM10s, PM2.5s, nasty dust stuff, down by about 15%, NOx down by about 20%, and I'm delighted to say, Your Royal Highness, in spite of the difficulties, all the difficulties you experienced this morning, that thanks to all the smart improvements we have put in our traffic management schemes, including split cycle offset optimization technique, we have, in the last 7 years, to pick a period entirely at random, as I say, we have managed to improve average traffic speeds in London from 9.3 to a truly supersonic 9.4 miles an hour. And if that isn't smart, I don't know what is. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming along. I hope you enjoy your